I haven't done one in a while, but it's time for a quick review. This was sent to me, HFK, in exchange for an honest review. And what it is, it's a motorcycle DVR dash camera. Front and back cameras, and they also send me the remote control. So we're going to unbox this, take a look. We're going to install it on this 2025 Pro Glide. And if you haven't seen my page lately, if you haven't seen my site lately, my Pan America broke down on the way back from Mexico, and I had to end up trading it in, or I'd be stranded in Tallahassee. So me and Loki here, we're gonna take this apart. Unbox it and put it on this bike. Let's take a look. I already took off the plastic. No reason to see that. Okay, black box, cool HFK on it. What's in the box? The sticker and instructions. We don't need instructions, do we? Okay, what else we got in here? This is the unit itself. The unit itself looks like a power button, Wi-Fi button. Micro SD goes in there. And we got color-coded connections. And here's the two cameras, in case they look identical. I'm sure one's for front, one's for rear. So two cameras, looks like plenty of wiring. Let's see for the top part. Okay, in here we got two more boxes. A box inside a box. Yeah, that's what we got in the boxes. First box, we have the mounts, a couple different mounts. And this is how you power the unit. Looks like it goes directly to the battery, but let's see if we can find a way around that. This box. More 3M mounts. This is probably for the remote, I'm assuming. And zip ties and some Velcro. Okay, let's see how to install it. I'm gonna have to look at the instructions real quick. Alright, it's the worst part, reading instructions. Can you read these instructions? Because I hate doing this, especially it's in Chinese. Luckily, he speaks Chinese. It's good to have a dog who speaks Chinese. So anyway, I'm gonna go look through these instructions real quick so you don't have to, and then we're gonna put it on the bike. Okay, it does come with a little mini screwdriver, keychain. Apparently, we got to the micro SD card slot goes right here. Switch it to a little bigger screwdriver. My hand's a little too large for that little screwdriver. It'll work. It's just a little fast and I have one handy. So mounts out. I'm going to use a 256 micro SD card, but it does allow for up to 512. So I'm going to use this one. A little easier if you use the screwdriver to put it in. Close it up. Okay, this is the K21 wireless remote. And you don't need this, I don't think, but it must be nice to have. Looks like you have an option of picture or video. It mounts, it's got a battery. And it has been inspected. Instructions. Comes with a little mount. Oh, different mounting options. Pretty cool. We'll install that in a minute. Okay, I think I found a perfect place to mount it. Under the fairing. So let's check it out. Okay, come on, watch out. So you're gonna need a 3/32 Allen to loosen this. And what I'm gonna do is it mounts to the 3M tape. And then I'm gonna put this right here, under here, should be good. So let's start with that. So I'm just going to feed it through. I'll wire it later. Just so there's like a little rubber piece. This goes around that. So I'm going to have to loosen this a little bit more. Saw the plastic cover on it. Acts like a little shock absorber. Oh, now I lost the screw. Knew that was going to happen. Could have bet money on that. Okay. There's an up arrow here. So if this is going upside down, we got to turn this up. Okay, that looks pretty even. Tighten it up. I don't think there's enough travel here to where this is going to really hit this. I hope. That might be my only concern here, is that you can adjust the angle here. So it's probably good. Should be good now. Okay, just gonna prep the area with a little bit of alcohol. Again, make sure that the arrow, move out of the way. Move, Loki. Again, make sure the arrow is up. Find the spot you want to put it. Seriously? Move. Thank you. Just gonna hold that. I'll probably get a clamp to hold this. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. You can always adjust this later. If it's not when we watch the video, I'll make sure that it's going right. I'll run this probably on the other side. Okay, placing the other one on the license plate holder. Again, this is a 25. You may have your own personal license plate holder. It might be different. I could also place it under here, upside down, and just turned it. But in case I remove this, I don't want to have to remove my camera too. So the place I found for it is right here. It's a little crooked, which is not good. I gotta tighten that, but I got it in place. And I'll just worry about the wiring afterwards. But again, I prep the area with the rubbing alcohol. Make sure the arrow's up. You take this plastic piece off of here. And there we go. Now let's worry about the wiring. Next fun part. Okay, I had to take a little break. I have some things to do, so part 2 of this. All right, so I ran just to catch you up, which if you just watch this part, I'm not really catching up because you watch it, but anyway, catch me up. So I ran the front camera underneath the fairing there. I have the back mounted on the license plate. I'm going to tidy up the wires and all that. Now this is what you're left with. Although they are in Chinese, it's also in English, so it's not that hard to follow. So you have the unit itself. Now, in order to connect to your Wi-Fi, which has an app that goes to, there's an app that goes to both Android and iPhone, and it comes in the instructions. You just scan it's jammy here. I forgot what it's called. Losing my mind. So you scan that, download the app, and it sets it up. So here's the kicker, though. When you power on the bike, it automatically power on, and it'll start recording in 3-minute loops, I believe. Yeah, in a 3-minute loop, we'll start recording. But in order to connect to the app, you would need to press the Wi-Fi button, which would be under your seat or in a side panel, wherever you decide to mount it. It does have, you put a Velcro here, and you can mount it in multiple places. Just to go over this a little bit more, you have a front and rear camera. So if you need more wire to go to the front, like I did, you're going to make sure the front camera is connected. The cameras themselves are identical, but the cables just have to go to the front or rear connection, which is that or that. Okay, now, a couple more things. The remote control. The remote control. You have upside down, which I'm going to mount and break it. Okay, the remote control, yeah, you can take a picture. You could take a video and lock the video to either back or forward camera, front or back. And if you press this button in for 3 seconds, it'll connect to the Wi-Fi. So I highly suggest you get the remote control too. If not, you have to pull the seat off or wherever you mount it every time to get to the Wi-Fi by pressing it manually. Do with the remote control, which I'm going to mount over here. You can connect your app anytime and connect to your phone and do what you want. So if you press this button while you're riding, it'll stop the loop and start a new 20-second video for you. Same thing with a camera. And then it'll go back to recording on the loop. So I highly recommend this. We're gonna mount this in a minute. I'll get to that. Now, here's the way I'm connecting it. You basically have 3 wires. You have an orange, black, and a red. Okay? Black, red, and orange that come from the unit. You could do the black and red to the battery directly, which is kind of a pain in the ass to get to, but it can be done, no problem. And then you have to hook the orange wire up to an accessory plug, fuse. One that will only go on when a bike goes on. If you don't do that, it's going to keep running. So you'd have to manually turn it off every time I turn it off. So this is how I'm working around that. I am using one of the plugs that come on a 25. You could get earlier models. You're probably gonna have to do it this way, or you could get as a way to run it through the side panel by getting an accessory plug that you could do something like this with. But this is for the 25. Earlier models, you're gonna have to run this to the fuse panel that has, I forgot which one it was. I did it on a previous project. So it only comes on when the bike is on. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strip these down. So I don't need all this wire. And I'm gonna connect it to this. Now, it also looks like a mess here, but basically this is what I bought. If I find a link, I'll put it on Amazon. So basically what I did was plug this into here, which goes into your adapter here. And I got the one that has a black and red wire that comes out of it. I'm just connecting it directly to, the red is going to be the power and the accessory, and the black's going to be the black. So that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to keep the video on while I splice them, but I'll show you the finished product in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna fire. I splice those together right now. I'm not making it permanent yet until I make sure I test it works right. I'm gonna fire up the bike, and what's gonna happen is the power light should come on, and then it should automatically start looping the recording. There's the power light. Should beep. There it goes. Okay, that means it's recording. So that's good to go. Now, if I turn off the bike, this should power off completely. Let's make sure that happens. Okay, so now we know we have it wired correctly. I'm gonna probably just gonna tape these up. I don't probably just gonna tape these up for now. I can always go in there and fix it up later, or you could do it the right way and use like a fusible link type of thing, or solder it together. I'm just gonna tape it up, go old school on it, and then I'm gonna test out the remote control too. All right, I spliced it together. I just went electrical tape on both sides because this is going to be under the seat. It's not really going to get wet. I wasn't too concerned about it. Again, I may fix it up later, but I also mounted the remote control. All you do is remove this with a T27, and they have a couple different mounts supplied. I use this one. There's one that goes straight up. There's one that goes on an angle. I use that. So this is all set up to go. You might want to use some blue Loctite so it doesn't shake loose. I don't know if that's going to be a case. I'll worry about that later. So now let's test it, and with the app also. So let me open the app. So right now it's not going to connect. It's going to say that. So let's see if this all works out. Turn that on. Unit should power up. Make you step on it and knock it down like I did. All right, so right now it should be recording. I gotta mount that. So right now it should be recording. So I can't go into Wi-Fi because it's not reading that. So let me mount my phone for a second. Be easier. Okay. So if I hold this for 3 seconds, it should go to Wi-Fi. There it goes. Wi-Fi kicked on. So now you got to go into your settings. Wi-Fi. And it should be there. There it is, HM201. Join. Once that's connected, good. Back to the app. Okay, there we go. Device is recording. It's on a 20-second loop. So I'll stop that for right now. So you can set all this in here. Wi-Fi name, loop recording 3 minutes. The size, the frame rate, sound on or off, show date and time, how much you can format your SD card, how much space you have left. So that's your rear camera, front camera. But apparently this doesn't work if the Wi-Fi is connected, which is weird. It is working because I hit this, the camera light comes on. So it's probably, I think it did. So let me go to the folders. So, I have to disconnect my Apple CarPlay for right now. Okay. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna put it all together. I'm gonna have to test it out further to make sure. So I'm gonna take this for a test drive. Front and rear video. We'll see how it looks out there. I'm gonna take this for a test drive. We'll see how it looks out there. Button all this up. But basically, this is the setup. That's how you go through the Wi-Fi. And I'm just gonna tuck this all in. I'll show you one more video when I have it all tucked in. And then we'll get for a road test. Let's go for a road test. Okay, I roughly rounded wires. I just gotta zip tie them to make it look nice and neat. But I Velcro this to here. I ran all the wires down here. And some in here. And the camera wires are through here. And the rear camera wires go underneath here. So it's a lot of wiring. If you really want to make a neat job, you could probably cut the wires and splice them as you need them, so you get rid of all the extra wires, which I may end up doing. But for right now, I just want to test it out, make sure it works. So that's how it's going to look. I'm going to put the seat back on and take it for a test ride. Let's see how it goes. right, I just took it for a test ride. The loop works perfect. When I hit the record button, it stops that loop, starts a new recording. It's good. Now, keep in mind what you're getting this for. Well, the reason why I got it not so much for like my vlogging videos. I got it for an accident, basically. Somebody cuts me off, somebody rear ends me, somebody backs into me, you know, or something spectacular like you run over a deer. You know, things that you want to make sure you capture on video, you'll have it on this. So depending on what reason you get it for, understand it's 1080p, and you can see here in the videos. I'll show you the videos in a second. It's 1080p. It's nice and clear. You can see what you need to see. And again, it comes out, it's like slightly crooked. I'm sure there's something they can work on, but it doesn't matter. The whole reason you're getting this, you could easily go to your phone, show somebody, like if you know somebody runs a red light, you're at a scene of an accident, you want to show the officer the video, show them on your phone. It's perfect. You need to download it for later, whatever. God forbid you get hurt and you want to have a lawsuit. This would help you if you're not at fault. So for that purpose, it's perfect. It's exactly what you need. The video is nice and like clear. Like I said, a little crooked when you look on a computer screen, but that really doesn't matter. It does exactly what it's intended to do. Price is right. Functions fine. I mean, only time will tell if there's any problems, but right now it works perfectly the exact way I set it up. So good bang for the buck, and it's good peace of mind to have it. So check it out. I'll put a link in the description for you to pick up your own. That's about it for that. So that's my review of this camera system. If you have any questions, put it in the comments below. And I'll see you on the next one. Ride safe.